this second video, we'll look at the role of perception. If you're a student of psychology or even physiology, then this video isn't really for you. We won't be getting too technical, and we might even borrow from more than one theory, so not too helpful from an academic perspective. In simple terms, the brain is essentially a pattern recognition machine. The sensory register is quickly and subconsciously sorting inputs from sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste into boxes to determine if it is something that will be of interest, if it's worth remembering. The long-term memory stores all of that information that you've deemed worth remembering, and it helps the working memory, or short-term memory, by retrieving things that we've already experienced or know to make connections with new information, to make it relatable and therefore easier to remember. That often happens automatically, so you're not aware of the process. In a way, your long-term memory is shaping your view of your environment, influencing your sensory memory by directing your attention to things that fit nicely into how you've organized your long-term memory store. That also means that if you have no prior knowledge of something, then important details in a pattern can be missed or overlooked, as it's not meaningful to you. New information that doesn't fit the pattern of what we consider to be correct can be immediately dismissed as wrong. Those patterns become more pronounced with experience, so often in training, we're trying to unlearn rather than learn, which is much harder to do for many people. There are a number of well-known illusions that clearly demonstrate how different people can perceive the same information in different ways. Perhaps the most famous is this one, the "my wife and my mother-in-law" illusion. Some people see the young wife first, others see the mother-in-law. Once you know that there are two images contained within the same picture, you can often see both, but there will have been one that you saw first. It can even be quite difficult to unsee that first image. This one is an optical illusion. It's attributed to Hermann Ebbinghaus, who we only mention here because he'll feature in our next video. There are two orange circles. The circle on the right, B, appears bigger. However, it is the size of the blue circles around them that creates that illusion, as the orange circles are actually the same size. The reason that this is important is that it shows how the brain creates pathways to help process sensory inputs. Some of that most basic wiring has never really changed, such as our fight or flight responses. It means that we can be looking at the same thing and can see something different. In a training context, it demonstrates just how important it is to suspend judgment and first seek to understand, to challenge our own assumptions that we might make. This also holds true in the workplace when you might find yourself in disagreement with a colleague. The only way to narrow the gap is through dialogue to understand the other person's view or perception of the situation. In the training room, you're more likely to pay attention to something that's of interest to you or connects in some way to your previous experience. That means that perception can result in you learning new information when you identify it as directly relevant to your current goals. It's also another reason for encouraging dialogue between participants during training, as that sharing of personal experiences can often be the starting point for creating insights. Insights generated in this way are ideal for increasing understanding and improving your ability to store that new information and encode it for easier retrieval in your long-term memory. The act of engaging in conversation also means that new information received is kept in the working memory for longer, increasing the likelihood that it will be transferred to your long-term memory. So, perception is an important mental process that is central to your sensory memory. How you detect the inputs of sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste in your environment. Your perception of the external environment essentially defines your reality. Your memory plays an important role in shaping that reality. Sensory memory is one of three mental processes, the others being short-term and long-term memory, through which information is acquired, stored, and used for the future. The long-term memory influences what you pay attention to in your environment by connecting sensory stimuli to patterns that you recognize from past experience and existing knowledge, helping you to interpret and make sense of your environment. To ensure that you do not become overwhelmed by sensory stimuli, your working memory helps you to focus on particular things. That process is called your attention. So attention is a prerequisite for learning to make sure that new information is not ignored, but is instead processed through memory and properly encoded in long-term memory for retrieval when needed. Don't forget to like this video And don't forget to remember to watch part 3, as we'll be looking at forgetting.